Welcome back to the highly anticipated podcast. I'm your host, Josh Raphael. I got my co-host, Tyler Pouncey, Will Young. Y'all boys, what's up?
What's the word, man?
That's pretty poppin'.
What's up? I see, Tyler, you got that Bengals hoodie on. They had a nice little week this past week. How you feeling? You feeling good about that?
Yeah, it's the Cardinals. I got to see it a couple weeks in a row. I ain't going to do too much, but it's better than what I seen the first 4 weeks, so
yeah.
I'll take it.
Jamar Chase had the single season receptions record in Bengals history or something like that?
Yep. 15 for 194, 195.
We had three tutties. Yeah. I mean, he said he's 7-11, right?
Open every time. He wasn't lying.
Everybody always open against the Cardinals. Everybody's always open.
He had 12 catches against the Rams, so don't start.
I guess everybody open against the Rams too.
They don't have no secondary. What do you?
Oh my god!
All right, so
you popped off against two teams with no secondary.
Hating, bro.
When he had 200 against the Ravens with 2 top 10 corners, then what?
Oh, yeah. Was that this year?
I don't care.
So are we talking about the past, or are we talking about this?
Don't care.
I'm just curious.
You brought up how he was playing the teams.
I'm just saying though, if you saying it's the Cardinals secondary, I mean, anybody could have had 15 then. I don't see a lot of people getting 15 receptions against him like that, so I don't know what you're talking about.
He's cooked top 5 corners.
Had the Rams played the Cardinals yet? I feel like Puka Doncic, he probably could have did 15 receptions.
Y'all go overrating this nigga.
Yeah, but it's different though, because Matthew Stafford force feeds. It's like if you watch the game. So no. It's totally different from catching a bunch of screenplays and little 2-yard outs than freaking watching Jamar Chase literally route.
You can't catch enough 2-yard outs to get 100.
Have you what, bro? He hasn't had over. I don't think he might have had one game, but I don't think he's had a game for real where he had over 200 yards. He literally would get 15. Yards? He would get 15 catches. He would get 15 catches for 150. Puka, we talking about Puka.
Is that bad?
But I'm saying though,
Puka,
oh my god, here you go.
That. Listen. Puka's like that. I seen him play in college. Puka's like
he's tough.
You can't put up
tough.
Rams, any receiver
put up 100 plus.
He's tough, but
off a screen,
any receiver that's receiver number 1 for the Rams is gonna get the ball.
Exactly.
I hope that the same thing happened because they had Kevin McConnell as their OC when he went to Minnesota. That's exactly when Justin Jefferson went crazy, and Justin Jefferson catches a lot of short routes.
That's what I'm saying. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, but I'm just saying,
get your touches,
you're not. Again, it gonna be going over your head. That's what I'm saying. It's you just don't want to use your brain. Okay, but we're not even gonna talk about.
What is the difference between you saying he force feeds Puka and the cow
because
he just force
when you watch Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, everything feels like it just flows into the game. I can't really explain it. Matthew Stafford has been notoriously known for force feeding receivers, and obviously, I'm not saying they're bad. That doesn't mean they're bad or anything. That just means he force feeds their receivers.
Cup is overrated though. I'm not gonna lie,
bro. It's the same type of force feeding. I don't know what maybe we're not watching the same football.
Oh, I know you're not watching it. I know you're not. I know you're not. I know you didn't watch the Bengals game either. I know you didn't.
If you get 15 receptions,
oh my god, you
not force feeding, but
you still don't get it.
What we
you get force feeded. Jamar doesn't get force feed. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
You don't get it. If you watch the game, you understand. If you watch the game, you understand.
I watch all these.
If you watch the game, you will understand. But you don't watch those games.
Well,
you probably just watch the lines.
You can't force feed nobody when you're throwing the ball 50 air yards and diamonds and shit. That's not
that's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say a lot of his stuff.
Is throwing a slant and an out. Force feeding was when Michael Thomas broke the single season record with Drew Brees. That's force feeding.
That's what they call him. They call him what they call him, slant boy.
And Cup is a whip route. Is whip boy. That's what he should be called.
Right.
Cup tough.
No, he is. He's very tough, but I don't think he's talent wise top 10. So
Puka tough though. I'm not by any means saying he's not nice.
Hey, I seen him
talent wise.
You said what?
He probably not top 10 talent wise.
He not. I know. Trust me. You ain't gotta say it twice. I know.
Let's jump into it though. We gonna talk about Tyler's team and his division. I don't know what's going on in that division. It's just. 1 week we look at a team and we're we're looking at the Ravens in the beginning, and I know Will was saying, the Ravens weren't running away with it. They're gonna win the division. Obviously, the Bengals started kind of bad, and then you can see now they're starting to get their rhythm a little bit. The Browns, I mean, they look okay. They lost Deshaun, so now we got to see how they're gonna look against San Fran with Deshaun back. The Steelers are actually first in the division right now, which is crazy. They're 3-2, and with everything they've got going on with Kenny Pickett, the Matt Canada drama, he looked like he was mad when Kenny Pickett audible, all that other stuff. So there's just so much going in that division. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm gonna start with you, Ty. Like, can you tell me what is going on in that division, or if you still feel like who do you think actually is gonna come out that division right now, or is it just like, bro, you don't know what's going on? Like, this is crazy.
I mean, this is every year. Like, yeah, a lot of people don't really pay attention. They pay attention to it, but not in this depth because all 4 teams are actually like they're good. I say the Steelers are only more good than bad because of their coach. But as far as like the AFC North and they being like this is normal. Like everybody's within a game behind. It's always like close. This, that, and the third. So I don't know. I still think I feel like we're in a good spot to where if the Bengals can beat the Seahawks, they're like right in the neck of things going into the bye week. So it's still close. I still got the Bengals winning it, but I mean the Ravens are still after that. After,
wow.
But yeah. I mean I'm as long as 9 back there and he healthy, it's not. Why would you bet against him? Like I'm sorry.
Oh, I would bet.
I know, but you're a Lions and a golf fan, so I'm not surprised you would bet against them. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, my fault.
But
Well,
yeah.
let's
So
not
anyways,
get into that. Yeah.
hey, we can. I mean,
I don't want to.
Oh,
I don't want
I know.
to.
But
don't want to.
anyways,
Right, because we
the
know who's
AFC
better,
North is
but
like
we don't need to.
the AFC North is always like that. So, but when quarterbacks get healthy and when he start throwing for 300 yards and giving his receiver 190 yards, that's when we can start getting right. So. Once the Bengals get both of them back healthy, it's over with.
Well, what do you think? Are you still riding along this? Hey, the Ravens running away with this division, or have you kind of thought about your decision
Yeah,
a bit?
yeah. It might not be necessarily running away with it. But they're 100% my pick to win it. I'm not. I mean, the Bengals have 2 good weeks against one below average team and one average team. You know, it's more so like congrats. I'm not gonna be like, hey, the Bengals are starting to get their rhythm. Da 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 da. Like obviously, yes, Jamar is getting the ball after publicly complaining about always being open last week. That's good that he's getting the ball now. I don't know what took so long for him to, honestly. But I don't think this proves that. I don't know that Joey Burrow is getting his rhythm back, or that the Bengals offensive line is getting any better. Like it's still the Bengals. As far as the Ravens, I mean, it's not Lamar's fault. I can tell you that. The receivers absolutely had the worst possible game. I mean, even this game, like they should have won this game with ease. The receivers dropped, I don't even know what, like 8, 9, 10 passes. At least 3 of them were tutties. So that should have been a dub. No problem. Steelers, they're just bad. Browns, not convinced. Deshaun's not playing right now. Even when he is playing, he doesn't look great. And we could get into a whole nother thing with Deshaun just swindling them boys, because he should not be getting paid what he's getting paid. But yeah.
What's up, Ty?
We know, or I don't know if y'all know, but Lamar got the most fumbles in the fourth quarter since 2021, right? Or overtime too. So him fumbling in the fourth quarter, I think that's his fault too.
Would you blame? I'm saying with
I didn't know. I didn't know if y'all
I
knew
mean
that.
that's definitely yeah. Just like that pass that he threw, trying to throw on the fade to Odell, that was completely 100% covered. He shouldn't have thrown that. That would be his fault too.
I'm just making sure we're not finna just let him walk completely out.
No, I'm not gonna let him. I'm not gonna let him walk free.
Passes,
but despite the mistakes that he made, the good things he done, kind of, I think it far outweighed those mistakes. They just weren't capitalized on by his receivers. I mean,
2 turnovers.
2 turnovers. I understand that, but if you balance out 2 turnovers with 3 touchdowns,
one of them was one of the turnovers was in the red zone, and one of them ended the game. You got to leave with some. If you don't throw that pick, they at least go to overtime. I think so. I'm just saying we can't we hey, y'all got to put the blame on both sides. Y'all can't play one side
You
just
can't
because
put the bulk, but if you had to put like a percentage of the blame, it was
it's
definitely probably
60-40.
nah. I got to at least, at the very least, go 70-30, and I'm being generous. I mean, generous because nobody
60-40.
cares that he threw obviously that force at the end. I mean, he's trying to get something. So who knows how like that changes the course of the game if they catch those balls.
I
But
mean, you can't throw it. You throwing a fade route in the red zone, you gonna throw it inside. I don't know when people started doing that. That's
I don't
just
know. I don't know. That wasn't.
my
I
high
don't know what
school.
he
My
was
high
looking.
school
I don't know what
quarterback
he
could
was
throw
looking
that.
at. I don't know what he was
So
looking
y'all
at.
got
But
to. All I'm saying is y'all got to spread the blame. You just can't blame. You got to look at everything. Granted, they was dropping
70,
passes
70, 70, 30 at
60-40. You can't turn the ball over in the red
most.
zone, and you can't have no fourth quarter turnovers, especially fumbles. And he fumbles the ball a lot.
Bro, that's not Lamar. Bro, Lamar was putting it on the money like the majority of the game though.
I'm
So
not saying he
yes,
wasn't.
Yeah,
They
that's
was
fine,
dropping.
but
They
and
was
that's
dropping
you see,
passes.
but to your point, this is to Tyler's point too. Like, yeah, I understand his receivers were, they were not great. There were a lot of drops, I mean, Nelson Aguilar dropped a walk-in touchdown. They didn't look great, but I mean, let me give you an example. In the NBA, right? Let's use Devin Booker, right? He has 40. Matter of fact, no, I'm gonna use Bron because he always gets blamed for this. LeBron has 40, right? End of the game, he misses a three to win the game. They blame him. More times than not, the media is gonna sit there and say LeBron James should have made, especially Skip Bayless. He loves saying that LeBron James doesn't have the clutch gene, etc. So to Tyler's point, it's the end of the game. You're the quarterback. You're the leader of the team. You fumble, lose the game. So in
it gets
hindsight,
blamed
that
100%.
the blame really is on you. Yes, they should have probably never been in that situation. The receiver should have probably caught the ball. And yes, they probably, but at the end of the day, you're in a situation where you could have won the game and your quarterback fumbled. So I mean, it really goes both ways. Obviously, like I said, the receiver should did this, but then again, all right, a lot of stuff happens in the game. So then when you get to a point where it's like, all right, like we can win right now, we have an opportunity, your quarterback fumbles. So that's gonna be on him, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? So
That's how the cookie crumbles.
I can see both sides to it.
Mhm.
To each their own. But yeah, I mean, so what were you saying? Well, you said what? You still got the Ravens?
Yeah, still the Ravens coming out of that division.
Okay.
I think if they get everybody healthy, and still, I mean, they're still a new team. They've only played one game with everybody healthy. So
Yeah.
I think they'll be fine.
Well, it's the Ravens. That's becoming more of a norm. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's like asking
Facts.
if it's like saying if the Clippers gonna be healthy. We know they're not gonna be healthy. They can win a title all day if they're healthy. They can win a
Yeah.
title in 2K. They're not gonna win a title because they
Yeah.
don't stay healthy.
Um,
2K is crazy.
right now, in terms of just what's going on in the AFC North and probably, who I think is going to come out of it up to this point, I probably will say Ravens right now. But the Bengals did start 2-3 last year. So it's kind of like a similar situation. And then they ended up going on like a 8-7, whatever win streak they went on towards the end of the year. I mean, like Tyler said, when you have number 9 back there and you got number 1, I mean, it's hard to bet against them. I mean, they've been in this situation before and they ended up making it to the AFC Championship. So it's hard to just sit there and say, yo, it's done for them, whatever the case may be, because I mean, it is a positive sight, whether they played the Cardinals or whoever they played. It's a positive sighting to see that, okay, Joey and, Jamar Chase are getting on the same wavelength. If I'm not mistaken, is T. Higgins still hurt, Tyler?
They're saying he's
Or is
day to day
he,
right now, but
did he
I
play
don't.
last week?
No, he didn't play. He got like a
So
fractured. He fractured his rib or something.
yeah, so I know, what I'm saying, they still got to get, another big piece of their offense back. It's just, I mean, right now I say Ravens. Browns. I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
Deshaun, I need
yeah.
to see more from Deshaun. I mean, he didn't play bad his last game that he played. It's just, I think it does hurt them a lot that Nick Chubb got hurt. That really kind of changed their whole identity as a team because they are a very run heavy team. So now it's, kind of hard because now you got Jerome Ford, who's more of a receiving back, and now you really got to air it out. But that could work to Deshaun's advantage because in Houston, that's what he did. He aired it out, So I know it was hard for him adjusting to the Browns offense because they're run heavy, but he's a pass heavy quarterback. So now they're going to be passing heavy. So maybe that'll give him the spark he needs, give him the little, push that he needs to kind of, be the Deshaun that got paid however much money he got paid, because he got paid a load sum. So
too damn much.
he gotta be
fleeced them
playing
boys.
better for that. And the Steelers, I don't know. I just am not like they're doing good right now. I just don't see them kind of continuing this for the rest of the season. Just with all the friction, I mean, from just the outside, granted, I'm not in the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. I don't know what's going on in there, so I can't speak like I do. But just from the outside, just from the reports, from just all the stuff between Matt Canada and Kenny Pickett, it doesn't seem like they're on the same page. Like I said, from the outside looking in, I don't know what it's like on the inside. But I think that's a pretty big thing to have your offensive coordinator and, your quarterback on the same page. And like I said, I just don't really see them, continuing this, So, I mean, to answer the question, like I said before, I think the Ravens are going to come out on top in the AFC North. But I wouldn't sleep on the Bengals because, like I said, it is scary to see Joey and, Jamar get on the same page, especially when you get T. Higgins back. It's probably going to be a dogfight in that division for sure. Kind of to move on. What'd you say?
I wouldn't be afraid. I wouldn't say it's scary.
This guy here, bro. You can't. At the end of the day, though, you can't just you got to still respect Joey and Jamar Chase. Like them boys made it to a Super Bowl and an AFC Championship. Like, how are you not? Like, I just don't understand. Like, if Mahomes had started 2-3 or 1-4, I bet you still would have been like, hey, man, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I wouldn't sleep on the cheese, right?
That's crazy.
It depends how they live. It would depend how they look.
Ain't no depends.
It would depend on how they looked. I
don't know about that.
Off of just
I don't know about that.
What,
Come on.
And the thing is, that's crazy because the Bengals have more weapons than the Chiefs. Which is the funny thing about that. And it's not like Joe Burrow's. I mean, Joe Burrow's a top 5 quarterback in the league. So it's like, I mean, and he was playing hurt the first 2-3 weeks.
4.
If you want to say top 3, you could throw him in the top 3. I wouldn't be mad at that.
This is the first game he's played where he was moving around.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like
that's the first time he scrambled and everything.
Yeah, so you got to keep in mind that I mean, he was hurt. At least playing hurt. So it's like, I mean, you gotta keep that in mind. Are you talking like Joey's a bum?
No, I'm not talking like that. I'm just saying. I mean, if he was hurt, he should have sat down. Probably that calf.
Okay, if he's
that's true. Hey, I totally agree with them because I would have rather been 1-2 or 0-3 with that nigga.
Ain't nobody trying to see him come to the sideline, grab that calf every time he come out. Go ahead, sit out, big dog.
He risking tearing that. So, but I'm glad he made it through.
I'm curious. Well, where are you putting Joe Burrow right now? Where are you ranking him? Like right now in the league as a quarterback.
Right now in the league?
Yeah.
Not top 5.
Where would you put him?
I would have to think who's over him.
Name the people you off the top of your head that you would say is over him right now.
Two is over him. Patrick Mahomes, obviously. Jared Goff, obviously. Josh Allen. I honestly, Lamar hasn't been great, honestly, but I still put him over him. And Lamar really hasn't played that well, to be honest. I'd still put him over him. Is that 5? Was that just 4?
I lost count.
Brock Purdy's over him, for sure. I don't know. You can giggle.
I ain't even say nothing, bro.
No, I'm just saying, I
ain't do nothing. I'm just listening to this.
I'm just saying.
List.
Purdy. Who else am I? Why am I?
You naming all these quarterbacks. You might as well throw Dak. You might as well throw Dak in there. He better than him.
Bye.
No. I'm sorry.
Relax,
too much.
relax.
Hey,
relax.
You just named 2 bums on that list before him, so I don't.
Who was the 2 bums that I named?
You know what? I ain't even say nothing.
No, just tell me who were the 2 bums that.
Since you did mention Brock. You did mention Brock Purdy. because I don't want
Mhm.
to lose this thought. So I think we should probably talk about this right now, real quick. So, I've seen that Brock Purdy, he's getting some MVP odds. They're saying he in the MVP conversation. I'm gonna start with you. How you feel about that? You think Brock Purdy is in the MVP conversation?
Um, I think as of right now, you have to. If you're looking at it from a, I don't know why I keep laughing. If you're looking at it from a numbers standpoint, obviously he's not putting up huge numbers. Okay, so he's not doing anything that's like crazy. Um, but he hasn't thrown any picks. Which he thrown like nine or 10 tutties. So far. 49ers are undefeated. Obviously, a whole bunch of factors into that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't understand what the deal is with people. And I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna say like any names of people that do this, but like the disrespect towards Brock Purdy as if he's not like he's leading that offense.
Mm-hmm.
He's leading that offense. Obviously,
Yeah.
yes. Does he have fantastic weapons? Brandon Ayuk has taken a huge jump this year. Obviously, you got Christian McCaffrey, you got Debo, George Kittle, all of that. But he's more than a game manager, and he's proven that. He is 100% more than a game manager. He's leading that offense. He's dicing up defenses. He's reading coverages. Okay, he's not just out there throwing check downs and winning games. He's making reads. He's going through progressions quick. He's really leading that offense. Um, so I think from that standpoint, you kind of got to say, yeah, he deserves to be at least in the conversation. Will he win it ultimately? I don't think so. But he has to. Man,
What
he's probably like neck and neck with like Jared Goff in terms of like MVP discussions.
what you think Jared Goff is leading that discussion right now?
I mean, if I mean honestly, uh if he's in the MVP conversation, then I feel like you have to put Jared Goff in there as well.
Are you saying that based on bias
No,
or just
all bias,
actually?
all bias put aside. That's a 4-1 team, who's dominating, who's putting up numbers. I think Jared Goff only has
He has
like
9
two
touchdowns
interceptions
and 3 picks. 3 picks.
yeah, 3 picks on the year. Um, fairly just as many yards as Brock Purdy. I think, I believe. I actually like to see, but I'm pretty sure they're putting up similar numbers.
Mm.
Lions are going to win that division. Obviously, they're not undefeated, but they're going to win that division, and they have a less talented team. Our defense is dropping like fives. CJ gone. Manuel Mosley towards ACL again, gone. Brian Branch, his ankle, he done for now. So I mean, we got dudes. Amon Ra, he don't play on Sunday. Our wide receiving core is Sam Laporta, Josh Reynolds, and Khalif Raymond. We put up 45.
Jameson
Like
Williams.
Jameson Williams, yeah, but I mean they're gonna roll him back in. He had like 2 receptions or something for like 9 yards. Like they're gonna roll him back in, let him get used to offense. So if he's not put in the conversation, I mean they're the top 5 best teams in the NFL. So if he's not in the conversation, if Brock Purdy's in the conversation, and Tua's in the conversation, they're a top 5 team.
Well, I mean,
Patrick,
Tua's leading the NFL in touchdowns and passing yards,
yeah.
so
So
I
you
mean,
have to
he's gonna
include
be in
that.
that.
Um,
Neither of them are
I
leading
mean
anything.
the
The only thing
Eagles
I
are up
think that
there.
Brock Purdy's leading QB. He probably has the highest QBR, but anything
Yeah,
else,
you don't
I don't
really.
think he's top 5 in any other category. But
I don't
Tyler,
think so
what you
either.
think? You think Brock Purdy? You think he should be in the MVP conversations?
Just go ahead and say it,
Um,
Tyler. Just admit that yes, he should maybe be in them. At least a maybe.
no,
Wow.
it's that simple.
Uh,
No, not can't be an MVP candidate when you got another MVP candidate on your team. You got 4 people on that team that's top 5 within a position, arguably 4, and we're calling him an MVP candidate. That's outrageous. Why do we think Lamar won MVP? Because he have nothing on that offense. Why do we think Mahomes will win the MVP? Because he only had Travis Kelsey. You can't put. You could. That's like Jalen. If Jalen Hurts win MVP, I'll be highly surprised because there's no way when you got a team around you like that, regardless. And this ain't saying he ain't good, but I'm saying if you got a team stacked like that, There's no damn way you should be winning the MVP. So no, he won't win. I would be
Mhm.
highly surprised if if he even gets votes at the end of the year, bro. Like Brock Purdy he's a decent quarterback.
Oh Lord,
MVP is a straight. Bro, you can throw anybody at quarter. Jimmy Garoppolo was their quarterback when they made it to the Super Bowl. Get that through your head. Jimmy Garoppolo. Get that through
what are
your
you
head.
saying? Jimmy Garoppolo was
He's
a
not.
game
He
manager.
wasn't good. Jimmy Garoppolo
Jimmy
was a
was a
game manager,
game manager.
But
just like Brock Purdy.
you're
Just
literally
like Brock
making
Brock's
his
not
Purdy.
a
point. You're making his
Like,
point though.
like damn.
no. Brock's not a game manager.
Yes, he
Oh my
That's
is.
the point.
god.
That's the
No.
difference.
His
And
point
he's a
is that
game
you can
manager.
drop anybody in the if you can drop anybody
Newton?
in that offense in as a
Damn.
Shit,
quarterback,
he would be better
and
than
that
Brock
team
Purdy.
is still gonna do good. That has been the theme for the 49ers for years.
Wow. You can drop
Years.
anybody in that offense.
That has been the theme for
Anybody.
years, my guy. That's been
Like
the theme
that's
for
why
years, my guy.
Kyle Shanahan is one of the smartest coaches, and he schemes
He
very
is.
well.
Gotta give him props.
He's
100%.
probably
Yeah.
but him and Mike McDaniels, as far as offense, got to be the smartest coaches in the league because he schemes people so open so well. He runs well when you got a Hall of probably the second greatest left tackle ever playing on your left side. You follow him, give him the ball. When you got people guarding when you got him guarding your blind side, I don't think many you seen. Hey, I ain't heard nothing from Michael Parsons all game. They had no sacks. When you got a
Mhm.
line like that, there's no way you're not going to be good. So no, he's not no MVP. He doing
Listen, I
exactly.
agree. I
He
agree
doing
with
exactly.
you. Like,
Listen. He doing exactly what the hell he's supposed to be. My mom always told me, you don't get awarded for something you're supposed to be doing. He's supposed to be out there doing something, doing exactly what he's doing. Putting
Preach,
the ball
mama.
putting the ball
he
in the hand.
not what? So what does he have to
doing
do the
exact.
game? Like
Bro,
what does he
the
have
thing
to
is, no
do?
one is saying he's bad. Like he's
No,
good.
it's not
He's a
not
good
about
quarterback.
saying he's bad. You're saying
But
the
he's not.
respect
He
is
shouldn't
going
be in
to
the
every other
MVP. He
the
should
respect
not
is
be in the
going to every
MVP
other
conversation.
entity except
No,
for Brock Purdy.
He
no.
shouldn't be
Okay,
in the
listen.
MVP
It's
conversation.
going
He
to the
shouldn't be in the
O-line.
MVP
It's going to
conversation,
the
bro.
coach.
Tyler,
It's
this
going,
is what I'm
it's
saying.
going to the running back.
Will, listen. Is Christian McCaffrey the best running back in the NFL?
Yes.
Is Trent Williams the best left tackle in the NFL?
Yes.
And ain't no this, that, and the third. Yes, there's no other left tackle even close to him. He don't allow
Okay, well,
nothing on that
I can
side.
think for a second.
Is
My
George
fault.
Kittle? There's nobody better than him. Is George Kittle not a top 3 tight end?
Arguably.
Who are you arguing? Is there?
Travis Kelce, Mark
Travis
Andrews,
Kelce,
George
Mark
Kittle.
Andrews, George Kittle. There's no
Sam
other
Who else
tight
Laporta.
is
end.
better than him?
Okay,
Sam Laporta.
okay, bro.
I
Is
almost cursed. I almost
Debo
cursed on
and
this.
is
Okay,
Debo
y'all gotta
and
watch.
Brennan?
Hey, watch
Listen,
games and look at numbers. But we
listen.
can
Is
okay, keep
Debo
going. Keep going.
Samuel?
Bro, this
Is
man just
Debo
said Sam
Samuel?
Laporta is better than George Kittle. Bro, like be for real, bro. Stop being
Listen,
biased. Be for real, bro. I don't care how good Sam Laporta is doing. There is no way you said with a straight face that Sam Laporta is better than George Kittle. George Kittle just had 3 touchdowns literally against the Cowboys. What are you talking about?
What does that have to
chatting.
do?
But listen.
What does that have to do? What does that have to do with
All them
anything?
people I just named, is Brandon Ayuk and Debo Samuel not a top 5 receiver duo?
You want me to? Do you want me to list there? You want me to give you George Kittle
Answer
and Sam
that question.
Laporta's-
Answer that last
What's
question.
the question? Yeah, then I'll go back. What was the question?
I said, is Brandon Ayuk and Debo Samuel not a top 5 receiver duo?
Top 5 receiver duo.
AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, T. Higgins,
Brown,
Jamar
Devontae.
Chase, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill. That's 3.
Yeah.
Okay, you got
Yeah,
the best.
probably.
You got the best linebacker in NFL in Fred Warner.
Yeah,
You got a
probably.
top 3 D line. Like there's a
What
lot
are
of
you
factors.
saying? I agree. Listen, I
Okay,
already
that's
said
what I'm saying.
they
You can
have a
put anybody in
complete
that
team.
situation. You can put anybody in that situation, and they're gonna do just fine.
But that's not
Just
that's
fine.
where you lose me. I'm not saying they're gonna do fine, but if you really look at it, Brock is doing more than just he's just filling in. He's just
He's
doing
throwing
what
to the
he's supposed-
open. He's
Aside
throwing to
from
the
his
open
last
person.
game,
He's just
aside from
doing
the
what
last
he's
game,
supposed to.
aside from the last game, he had 4 TDs. That's exactly what he did. Was just fine. He just did just what he had to do.
That's
To the open man.
well, listen.
That's it.
We
To Tyler's point from before, what I think all this again misconstrued. Like you said, why do you think all these other guys win MVPs? More times than not, they don't really have a lot of weapons around them. Patrick Mahomes last year only had Kelce. That's why he won. Brock Purdy has the best running back in the league, the best left tackle, a top 3 tight end. He has the one of the top 5 wide receiver duo. It is hard for him to be bad.
Thank you.
Jimmy Garoppolo thrived in that offense. Thrived.
I
And
hear
like
you.
you said, to your point, you said this. Jimmy Garoppolo is a game manager. So he game managed enough to get them to the NFC Championship, Super Bowl, whatever. Are you like, come on, be for real? And you think Brock
Purdy is not
all
he's
Brock
more
Purdy
than a
has
game
to do,
manager.
all Brock Purdy has to do is wake up and don't turn the ball over.
That's
it.
All
Don't have to do.
Because
you want to know why?
You want to know why?
You want to know why? You want to know why?
No.
Their offense
You have to understand.
so...
They wouldn't be dominating the way they are though if he wasn't actually doing
okay, my
more
fault.
Than just
they're not gonna win 45-10. They're gonna win 30-10. My bad, bro. My bad. They're gonna take off like 1 or 2 touchdowns. That might be the
case, but he's still doing more. He's doing more than game manager stuff. If you watch him play, he's doing more than that. It's more than just filling the spot. But you know what? It's okay because Tom's gonna tell if he really is just game managing.
The only way that Tom's gonna tell is if they win a Super Bowl. Because I wouldn't be surprised again because of how good their team is. They're gonna make it back to the NFC Championship. They probably might go to the Super Bowl, but it's gonna take something. No, down that has been the 49ers. That has been the 49ers' Achilles heel. All the past every time is the fact that their team is always good, but they never have a quarterback to take them over the top. If Brock Purdy can do that, congrats, but I don't see that right now.
Okay. And so
when I look at Brock Purdy, I don't look at him and be like, bro, like he got that it factor. And if he does end up getting it, then if he does end up getting it, then kudos. But I don't see that right now.
Tripping, man. Y'all are tripping.
What are you talking about? You're looking at look at Brock Purdy and you say, bro, he has that it factor.
Bro, I literally said when Trey Lance was on the 49ers and we were having the discussions about should Trey Lance start. Obviously, he had a small sample size. Should Brock Purdy play? I literally said Brock Purdy is the guy. Like you can tell, you can look at him and you can tell, nah, he's different. He's the guy. He does have an it factor. He has won the locker room over. He is the leader of that team. He is leading the offense.
He is not the leader of that team.
Oh my God.
It's about 10 leaders before
he is not the leader of that team. Let's don't get that to it. Now you chat.
He's leading the offense.
He can whatever. No, it's Christian McCaffrey leading that offense.
Okay.
That offense goes as far as Christian McCaffrey goes as of right now.
All right.
I think Christian McCaffrey scored a touchdown in the past like 8 games.
13.
Okay.
13, 14 straight games with a touchdown.
Now you underrating Christian McCaffrey like a M the way that you talking about Brock Purdy, bro.
Christian
like you
McCaffrey.
Clearly
relax. Nobody's underrating Christian McCaffrey.
Bro, you just he's the leader of that team.
I'm not diminishing. Bro. I'm talking about I'm talking about offense, and I was putting that in the context of during that time with Trey Lance, he proved to be the leader of that team.
Look,
that's why they chose.
Look, Brock Purdy.
Don't shoot the messenger. Go ask
Brock Purdy.
I'm not
like I said to you, Brock Purdy. He's not bad. He's doing what he got to do. Them boys undefeated. He's not turning the ball over, and to an extent, yeah, he's probably doing a little more than a game manager, but. Like I said, I don't think he's going to be what they need to win a Super Bowl. It is a constant theme over and over and over again with the 49ers. This team is too good to not win a Super Bowl. Anything less than a Super Bowl this year is a failure, an epic failure. And if you think Brock Purdy can bring him to the promised land and get them that Super Bowl, then, hey, man, Brock, I need to dap you up at the end of the season, man. My bad, bro. I didn't see it. But I just don't see it right now.
The NFC is tough. So to just say it's a failure, it's kind of
tough. It's 2 teams.
No, it is a fail with that team. It is a failure if they don't win.
That's a little crazy to say this.
Bro, you're nuts. You're nuts. You're nuts.
When Giannis said that BS after they got swept by
let me get this right. So this man is solely a game manager. He's just doing what he's supposed to do. He's just coming in, doing his job. You could put anybody in that. I mean, you could bring in Cam Newton. Hey, bring in Joe Flacco. Who cares? Bring in anybody.
If they not turn over the ball.
They could do
quarterback is not going to turn the ball over.
They could do the same thing. But if they don't make the Super Bowl, it's a failure.
The 49ers?
Your
Yes.
expectations are contradicting each other. He's a game manager. He's just
Oh my
a
God.
filler.
Oh
He's
my
just a
God.
filler. But if
There
they
he
don't make
go.
it, then it's a
It went
failure.
over. It went over. It went
It's
over
not
again.
going over my head.
It went over, bro. Whatever it went, bro.
God,
It went over again, bro.
Literally,
got
your expectations are contradicting themselves, bro. You
Yeah.
can't just say a dude's a game manager, but if he doesn't get them over their hump, then it's a complete failure. If he doesn't get them over the hump, then he meets the exact expectations of a game manager. Duh.
So then that kills your whole point that he's more than a game manager.
That kills my point. Yes. But I think he's more than a game manager. That would kill my point, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
Man, what's next, bro?
Yo, all right, hello.
What we got next?
Hey, since we were just talking about the 49ers, right?
Not,
Hold on. That man, wait.
And before we skip, because
that man said
we
George
got dudes
Kittle
on here. Yeah,
Did he
let's get
say
a timeout.
I
Let's get
know,
a
bro. I
timeout.
really actually don't talk about that no more because this about that bad. Don't
No,
talk.
let's
Don't
go.
do not
Let's-
ever
let's-
say again
let's-
that Sam
go.
Laporta is better than George Kittle right now,
That's
bro.
fine, me. Let me just
Because
go
I got
ahead,
something for that. If you want to pull us down, I got something for
Let
you.
me just go ahead.
I got
let me
something for
just
you.
Go ahead. Let me just go ahead and pull up these numbers. All I'm talking
Pull them
about
up. Come on.
is when you look at the numbers. When you ask me, now let me put this back in context because I know
Okay.
some people on this pod have amnesia and then end up forgetting. So
Yeah, I got you.
Let me put it all back into context. Tyler, you said is George Kittle a top 3? I said arguably, and then you said who else? And I said Sam Laporta. So let's put that in context. I didn't say George Kittle like he was overwhelmingly better than George Kittle. You said arguably.
Sam Laporta shouldn't even came up.
And to which you responded that I was being
Shame.
overly biased,
This
that I meant
guy,
to say that
bro.
there's no way.
God,
So here are the numbers
Jesus
right now.
Christ.
George Kittle, 17 receptions, 215 yards, 3 tutties, 12.6 yards per no. Yards after catch.
Yards per catch.
Yards per catch, my fault. And then 103 yards after catch.
Yeah.
Sam Laporta, 25 receptions,
Mm.
289 yards, 3 tutties, 11.6 yards per catch, and 132 yards after catch.
So we wait. Hold on.
I got it.
So I'm just. So I'm not saying. I'm not. No.
You got it, Ty. Because I got something for you.
Finish.
I got something for you.
Let me finish. Let me
go.
finish. Let me finish.
Yeah.
Because when assessing if a player is better, you have to go by the 3 bylaws. You have to use the eye test, context, as well as statistics.
You're not using context. You're not using context. Because if you're using context, it'll be like, damn, George Kittle's doing that with all them weapons on that team.
Ding, damn, ding.
So you're not using context. You're not
killing me with
because
this.
one Amon-Ra's been hurt.
I did not say
Gibbs got
that
hurt.
Sam Laporta was overly better than George.
I'm just saying you didn't. You just kind of broke one of your laws. But what were you gonna say, Ty?
Hold on. George Kittle is also by far the best blocking tight end.
Blocking, yes, he is. Yes, 100%. I agree. I'm right with you. I'm right with you. I'm right with you.
Stats. First of all, he does. Kittle don't get the ball as much, and he's averaging. Listen, he's averaging more yards per catch. They got the same amount of touchdowns, and he's a better blocker. Laporta only got him beat by
how many
60 yards?
How many touchdowns did George Kittle get last night? I'm just asking.
How many touchdowns did Sam Laporta get this past week?
I'm just
2, right?
asking. I'm just asking.
How many touchdowns did Sam Laporta get this past week? 2, right?
No, I think he only had 1 this week.
He had 2 because I got him on my fantasy team. Yes. So look, you tried to lie that quick. That's a damn shame. But anyway,
I'm not lie. I thought he only had 1.
He's a far better blocker. He averages more per catch. They have the same amount of touchdowns.
Sam Laporta 3 catches,
George
47
Kittle
yards,
is a
2 touchdowns.
He 100%. 100% is.
I just don't know. My thing is, I don't know why you brought up stats though. I don't know why you brought up stats because you could statistically, if you want to do this stats, because that's the first thing you wanted to bring up. Puka's having a better season statistically than Devontae Adams.
Yes, he is.
Jamar Chase, all of them.
So what is Puka? Is Puka better than them?
He the best receiver in the league.
We wouldn't even fathom saying that. We wouldn't even fathom saying that.
Because you also have to watch. That's why I'm saying that's where the eye test comes in. You can look at Puka and easily say he's not better than Devontae. He's not better than Jamar.
How?
I said arguably.
Numbers.
That's the first thing you brought up. You brought up numbers.
I said argue. It's almost like you just missed everything I just said. I just said.
Hold up. So
I just agree with you that the context of it, obviously, Sam Laporta's numbers are inflated because he's like the number 2 receiver, obviously. Number 1 when Amon's not playing. I just gave that. George Kittle, yes, he's one of the best, if not the best, blocking tight end. Yes, I give you that. I just said arguably. I
What
said
made you say
arguably.
he was better though? What made you even say that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why did when we asked
Because
who's better?
because I watched Sam Laporta.
So that's
So
bias.
that's why I said that.
So you being
No,
There you
biased.
go. You just
not
proved the
biased.
point. Next
Not
topic,
biased.
please.
Not
That's
biased.
that's biased as hell.
Next
topic.
time, how about this week? How about this week? You guys take some time out. Take some time out this week. Take some time out. Educate yourselves. Watch the Lions game.
It'll
Check
be a
out
cold.
Sam Laporta.
It'll be a
and
cold
then
day
you
in
can.
hell before I sit down and watch the Lions game
Then
voluntarily.
that's on.
It's gonna have to be the
Hey,
only.
listen.
It's gonna have to be
Listen. I
Thanksgiving for me
can't
to
help.
watch a
Listen.
damn Detroit
I
Lions
can't help
game.
you. Listen.
Nigga
If
said,
you're
"Watch
gonna
the
refuse,
Detroit."
if you're gonna refuse to argue, if you're gonna refuse to watch Sam Laporta, there's
Oh
no point in
man,
me arguing about. It's no point in me arguing
bro.
with you about
Don't
it.
even worry,
It's
man.
no point.
This is some clip, man. That big clip is here. Anyway, since let's do. Since we
You
were
can
talking about the
clip it
49ers.
if you like. If you're
Look,
not
man, we
watching
all right, man.
football,
Sam,
then
what
you
you said?
not
Sam
watching
Laporta better than George
football.
Kittle? That's what you said. All right, but whatever.
No, I did
Anyways,
not say
listen.
that. I did
All right,
not
so
say
since
that. I
we
did not
talking
say
about-
that. I did not say Sam Laporta is better than George Kittle. I did not say that. Those words
All right,
never came out
we
my
talking
mouth.
about the 49ers right now, right?
Niggas be
And like,
cap, man.
I know
Niggas be
he's sweating
cap.
right now. I know you hot. I know
They be cap. They be cap. They be cap.
Listen, bro. All right, bro. You got it, bro. Listen.
I can't help. Hey, at the end
Oh
of the
my
day,
God,
some people
yo,
just
stop.
don't. Some people just
Bro,
don't watch
alright.
football, bro, and that's
We not
okay.
here. We
All
not
right,
here.
If
you
you
got
don't
it.
watch,
You
hey,
got
bro,
it.
if
Finna be
you
the GOAT.
don't
You
watch
got
the
it,
league,
bro.
it's
Sam Laporta finna be the
okay.
You
GOAT.
got it.
Sam
Why do
Laporta
we?
about to be the
What's the
GOAT.
point of us discussing
You
football
got it.
if we got people on here that's
All right,
not
bro. You
watching
got it.
football?
All right, you
I
got
don't
it. You got it.
understand.
I
You
like
got
to
it.
watch.
Not
I like to
watching.
watch good football. I'm
If you're
sorry.
not watching, you can't comment on it. I only
All
comment
right.
on what
All
I'm
right.
watching.
Let's move on. Let's move
That's
on.
all I'm
Let's move
saying.
on. Let's move on. We're just talking about the
That's all I'm saying.
49ers, and they obviously waxed the Cowboys. I know early in the year when the season started, we were looking at the Cowboys and we was like, I mean, the Cowboys may not be fraudulent this year. They may be, actually pretty good. And then they face the 49ers and get absolutely demolished. So it brings up the question. I'm going to start with you, Will. I mean, are the Cowboys just fraudulent?
I don't know if they're only fraudulent to the fans or the people that actually believe in them year in and year out. They're not fraudulent. They've shown their true colors time after time after time after time. So at this point, if you really go into every season expecting that the Dallas Cowboys are just gonna be crazy, like I don't know. That's on you. Regardless of whatever happened, Diggs getting hurt defensively, that really doesn't. I mean, he's a good ball hawk, but in terms of like an actual lockdown corner, he's actually not like that. Respectfully, anyway. Does it hurt them? Yes, but it doesn't make a really big difference. I don't think in their defense. Offensively, Dak's just not. He's just not that guy. Like, I don't know. Jerry's convinced otherwise that he's not like turnover prone. I'm not quite sure why. Like they're not a great team. They look talented on paper, but they're just not it. Dak's not going to get you over the hump. He's not going to win you game. He's too inconsistent. He's been too inconsistent. So I don't say they're fraudulent. They're just not. I think we just put them on a pedestal. Not me, but we, as I mean, like the general public, seems to just put them on this pedestal usually more often than not and say, hey, they're one of the best teams or the contenders in the NFC, and they're not. So,
What you, Ty?
It's the Cowboys. We should, like Will. I'm agreeing with Will. We should be used to this. When they started off, they played the Giants and the Patriots, and that's the games we. Oh, they're gonna make it to the bro. I think, I think something crazier will happen before the Cowboys even make it to the Super Bowl, let alone win one. They ain't did nothing since I've been alive. I'm not gonna lie. All their Super Bowls was before I was born, so I don't even like talking about the Cowboys because they have not done anything in my lifetime at all. Every time they get to the playoffs, it don't matter who the quarterback is, they gonna sell. Whether it's Tony Romo, whether it's Dak, shit, you could probably put Tom Brady on the damn Cowboys. They still ain't gonna be able to win. Cowboys is terrible. They talk too much too. Michael Parsons be talking like they just the best defense of all time. It don't make sense. And then as far as for what he said to Kittle, the laugh now, cry later. I think a lot of them was crying last year when they got smacked in the playoffs. So the Cowboys just ain't it. They ain't never been it. They ain't been it since the '90s. They gonna need what's his name? What's their quarterback's name from the '90s? Whoever they quarterback, they gonna need Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin,
Was
and
it Troy
the
Aikman?
quarterback. Yeah, Troy Aikman. They gonna need the
Yeah.
big three back for them to be good, and that ain't happening. So the Cowboys is the Cowboys. Like Will said, I wouldn't call it fraudulent. If you're falling for it, then maybe it's fraudulent. But I ain't fell for it since 1995, and they ain't did nothing since then.
Crazy.
So they just not it. And then, but Will's fact about Diggs, I feel like he's the best and the worst corner literally because he's given up the most yards and he has the most interceptions. So I feel like calling him a lockdown is crazy, but not calling him a lockdown would still be kind of weird because he kind of in the middle. But him and
Yeah, that's what I said.
Gilmore,
He a ball hawk, like, but he not.
he be getting cooked. He just be falling for the
Yeah.
double moves. But him and Gilmore would have been a top 3 cornerback deal if they would have stayed healthy, and that would have helped them a lot. But not having that other help on the other side is kind of messing them up, and then it's all bad for them. I'd never trust the Cowboys. So ain't nothing starting new with me this year. If they fraudulent to you, you just putting your mental health at risk with thinking they gonna make a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, you guys both had great points. I agree with you. Every year in and year out, the Cowboys, like Will alluded to, look amazing on paper. I mean, arguably be having some of the best teams on paper, and it just seems like they just can't put it together every single year. I don't know if Dak is the guy. Sometimes he has some nice flashes, and then other times I'm looking at him like, man, they really just paid that man. So that gets tough, and I'm not gonna sit there and put it all on Dak, because it's just a lot, like a lot of other stuff that goes on that team where it's just like, man, like you guys are supposed to be so much better than this. I was expecting a good game between the 49ers and the Cowboys. I actually was like, you know what, man, we about to see what the Cowboys are made of. Even if they lost, like if they just, put up a fight, I would have, been like, all right, that's a win, because the 49ers are nasty, but they got absolutely destroyed.
Both the
And
ass.
I mean, like you said, Tyler, I mean, look, Micah Parsons, one of the best defensive players in the league, et cetera, et cetera. Look, man, I'm not gonna lie, like y'all lost 42-10, bro. Just vibe. Like, ain't no need to go
They
on there.
didn't beat
Look,
they didn't beat
man, just be like,
themselves.
look,
Y'all got
GG's,
beat.
y'all. We'll see y'all next time. Don't be
That's
talking
all
about
you
some
gotta say.
laugh now, cry later. I don't know if he just did that because he was on the pod trying to clickbait, whatever he was trying to do. But I don't know if he thought that through because it's like, you just got smacked, gang. Like you just got smacked. Like, I don't really understand, like what you're trying. Like, it's different if you lost by like 3, a touchdown, even like 10. Like, all right, like we there. It was
Right.
42-10, bro.
He got 30 ball.
Like, come on, bro. It was 42-10. So, and I don't even think C-Mac went crazy like that. Like, he had like a decent game. So it's
He
like,
fumbled too.
that's what I'm saying. So it's like, I mean, you got to just give respect or, respect is due. Like I said, the 49ers legit, but the Cowboys, I don't know. I really don't know what they need to do, because it's different when you look at a team and you're like, all right, they got to make this move here at this position, this move. I mean, aside from obviously, unfortunately, when Diggs got hurt, I mean, bro, they were pretty good in every single position, at least most of their positions where like you couldn't really look at it and be like, oh, there's a weakness here, so it's tough. It's tough because I mean, as much as we want to blame, we could say Dak throwing all these picks. I mean, defense gave up 42 points. So it go both ways. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't want to. It's tough to say if they fraudulent. They just, yeah, man. They just not amounting to what they could be. Let's just say they're overrated. I'll use that word instead. I'll say they're overrated. Because they got to be better than that, bro. It's
They
just
ain't
kind of
using
crazy.
Brandon. They're not using Brandon Cooks either.
They got a lot of speed on that team. It's like they don't use it. Like, you
They
got
got him
Turpin,
running.
you got all
They
them
got him
boys. They got
running
a lot of
slants.
speed.
They got him
Yeah,
running slants, hitches, and I'm like, bro, make that man run a go in a post. He should not run no other routes but them two.
yeah. And like
I'm like,
kind of
okay,
move on to our next NFL topic. I know we haven't really talked about like rookie of the year. Kind of talk to me a little bit about like Tyler. I'll start with you. Like, who would you say is like if you had to give? I'm not gonna say who you would say is gonna win rookie of the year, but like if you had to give me like a top two, top three, like rookie of the years, who would you rock with right now?
Offense, I think it's kind of unanimous right now. Is C.J. Stroud. Like he got. I thought the Texans were going to be like they're still the Texans, but he's definitely surprising me with how accurate he is and how the Texans are doing him a good service and like putting because they a lot of teams will put rookies in terrible situations as far as quarterbacks, and then they'll get out there. They're like, oh, he's bad. No, the Texans are doing exactly what he's supposed to do. You got a good left tackle and Laramie Tunsil and he has a decent enough receiving core to where they can get open and stuff. Obviously, I feel like they can try to get a better number one receiver, but that's still a good receiving core. So I go offense. It's got to be C.J. Stroud. I don't really think there's another answer. And then
Mm,
defense, it was going to be Christian Gonzalez, but he just got hurt. I think he's out for the rest of the year. So
yeah,
I got to see a couple
Yeah,
more
that's
weeks,
tough.
but yeah, that because he was.
That's tough.
Now, granted,
He
they're
was
putting
playing.
him
He's nice.
a lot of corners that go out of that come from New England. They be locking up, and when they leave somewhere, they turn into dog water. So it could be the system, but Christian Gonzalez was a good prospect coming out of college, and it transferred. When I remember the Dolphins game, he had a lot of help over the top. So I don't want to say he
yeah,
locking up, but he doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing in that defense. So, like I
yeah.
said, as far as defense, I probably got to wait for a couple more weeks and see. But for now, it's definitely to be announced because I don't know nobody on
Um,
defense right now.
for me, I'll start defensively because offense I got a couple actually. Defense, I'll probably say Jalen Carter. I
Yep,
mean,
yep.
he's looked pretty good. And like I mean, obviously it would have been Christian Gonzalez, but obviously he got hurt. So I'm gonna just go quickly and just say Jalen Carter. Offensively, I had a couple. I think CJ Stroud is kind of in the lead right now. Um, but Bijan's looking amazing. Like Bijan's looking
Mm-hmm.
like, honestly a top 10 running back in the league. I mean, it wouldn't even be crazy if you said like top 5 just because just right now, just how he's looking. Um
Oh,
but I mean just his ability to kind of, you know, rush and receive. I mean, he does it all for that team. I mean, honestly, he really does everything for the Falcons. It's really kind of crazy. Um also, he just got hurt though, unfortunately, so I'm gonna have to take him out. I mean, Devon Achane was looking great these last 3 weeks, and I mean, if he kept
yep.
on the route that he was going, man, because he was getting like 8 carries for like 120 yards. So I
He was
was
running
like, and he
crazy.
did that like 2 weeks in a row.
Hmm.
Like aside, I'm not counting the 50 point the fantasy night day he had because that was against the Broncos. But I mean, that still was nutty. But like, because I was intrigued as how he's gonna do the next 2 weeks. Then the next week, I
Mm-hmm.
think he had like 8 for 100. Then the week after, he had like 11 for like 150 or something. He had something crazy. He had a touchdown each week. So he's looking good also. And I think obviously Puka, but I mean Cooper Cup came back, so I think his numbers are gonna. I mean, he still had a pretty good outing with Cup back, but I
Yeah, that
think
surprised
the
me.
numbers that he was having is gonna kind of drop. You know, so obviously if he Cup wasn't coming back, I mean that man was gonna be probably get like 100, like some crazy. He was gonna have some crazy stats. But yeah, I think
Mm-hmm.
CJ's for sure in the running right now. Like he's the favorite, but I think Bijan is like a close second if I had to say
I
that.
forgot about
What
Bijan
about
for
you,
real.
Will?
He has been killing.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's not.
Bijan's killing. I probably go about the same. Definitely Bijan. I mean, he's the vocal point of that offense. He's, I mean, passing back, um, like hard running back. So both ways he can kind of do everything. So I'll probably put him up there. CJ Stroud, I'm impressed with him, not gonna lie, because I wasn't expecting him to play at this type of level coming in. Um, but yeah, I am impressed. Obviously he has no interceptions on the year, so that's great at all for a rookie. I don't know what it is about these Texan quarterback. I'm just saying, like Davis Mills, yeah, I don't know. Davis Mills put up numbers his rookie year too. So I don't know what it is within that Texas offense. Maybe because they just slinged in a whole bunch. Um, but yeah, he definitely has to be up there. Um, honestly, if it's unfortunate that Anthony Richardson keeps getting hurt because
Yeah, that's
I
true.
think he definitely
He's
would have
a
been
good
up there.
one
He's
too.
got to, yeah, he just can't. I mean, he can't stay healthy because this not college no more, buddy. Got to protect your
Yeah,
body.
you gotta
Yeah,
fly.
Yeah.
You gotta
yeah.
fly.
He going in try to take every hit, and it's like I don't want like the third game he didn't had to come out in like the second quarter or the second half or something just
Hmm.
like midway through the game. Just doing too much. So obviously, um, his usage rate probably needs to decrease a little bit, and he just got to be smarter. But I think he would have been up there. Um, and I'm gonna go back to good old Sam. Good old Sam in there. If
Yeah.
he continues at this rate, and I know that off rookie of the year obviously is not usually like a tight end award, so to speak. But depending on obviously how this plays out with health wise, um, whether Amon's out there or not, Sam's going to be the number two receiver, and he's a heavy target right now. So he ends up putting up numbers and sustaining himself in that top three ish, four ish, even five tight ends in the league. I feel like you have to consider him. So those would probably be my guys. But it's a long season
Yeah.
too. I don't know. Maybe Zay's a heavy target favorite, I think, of Lamar. So that would be interesting to see. But yeah, those are probably my top.
Yeah, for sure. Zay too is pretty good. I like him a lot actually. Like he was like he's tough, you know. But to kind of close it out, I'm trying to figure out if I want to talk about this because we really had an NFL episode. But I'm trying to figure out if I kind of want to talk about this one little NBA question I had because I seen this like little NBA thing on Twitter, and obviously Derrick Rose, is now back in I'm not back, but he's in Memphis, and obviously John Moran, etc. Like he's looked at as like a vet, and like this question popped up, and it was like, is Prime D Rose better than John Morant? And like that shit. Oh, sorry. um, that was kind of crazy to me. But yeah, like, Will, I'll start with you. Like, what do you think? Do you think like who do you think was better, like Prime D Rose or like John Morant, like right now? Because this is like technically like, kind of like Jaw's prime.
Yeah, I saw that, and Danny Green, I think he said like it wasn't even close or something like that. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna say all of that. D Rose was, I mean, when he came in, we had never seen a guard like that, like with that much athleticism, um, scoring ability, his quickness. I mean, he's just incredible. But Prime D Rose over Ja. I honestly, I don't want it to sound like recency bias, but I mean, I got to give it to Ja. Just kind of, I don't know. He has the scoring ability of D Rose. Um, D Rose was especially in his prime, and his prime wasn't that long, but in his
Mm,
prime, he was probably an underrated playmaker. Um, but Ja's I mean, proven playmaker. Um, I would like to compare. I'd like to see their shooting stats like side by side. I'll probably assume that Ja's 3 point is a little higher than D Rose, but it's probably not that
yeah,
much. Um, but he's got that same burst of quickness, same athleticism. Um, I don't know. I kind of everybody when you think of D Rose, everybody's just like, oh, D Rose. But I probably had to go Ja here. I probably had to go Ja.
yeah,
No disrespect to D Rose. He was
yeah.
a demon.
What about you, Ty?
Uh, D Rose was like that, but personally, I don't think he should have got the MVP first to start it off. That's the first thing. Um, but
Mm.
D Rose's prime was way shorter. Giles already played 3 years, 4 years, however long he'd have been in the league. It's probably five now, and at least three of them have been better than Derrick Rose 3 years. Now, granted, there is a higher offensive. There are way more points. There's way more shooting, way more possessions, and all that. But I feel like if you go athleticism, I feel like Ja got more bounce. I feel like he's a better, like you said, a better passer. I feel like by a small margin, he's a better shooter. And D Rose did have that mid range pull up, but Ja got a
Yeah, he
floater.
did.
He got that floater. So I don't know. It's tough. Like I said, Prime D Rose was like that. I'm kind of upset we didn't get to see him at his full potential because he was what 21, 22 when he won the MVP. So around like
Yeah,
25, if he
something
would have
like
got
that.
like if he was still going crazy and was healthy and would have got a jump shot, it would have been over for some of them. It would have been over for the East. I ain't gonna lie. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Ja already because of longevity. Like that's really it. And
Yeah.
I think maybe it's a small maybe because there's a lot of superstars in this league. But I think maybe Ja, if he can get an MVP, it's no question.
Yeah. Um, this is hard for me because I love D Rose. Like I was a D Rose like fanatic. It was Dwayne Wade and D Rose growing up. Like those
Mm-hmm.
were the two like people like I just love watching. Um, it's tough because I think Jaw's a better playmaker. Not think I know Jaw's a better playmaker for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think though their bounce is different in a sense. Like I feel like D Rose was so like I can't really explain his bounce. Like he just was so like it's just kind of crazy, you know. Like he was able to kind of just hang in the air, you know. He had a lot of more like quick twitch, etc. You know what I mean? And like, bro, Josh just like like I don't know, Josh just crazy bouncy. It's like two different
Different.
bounces, but I mean it's tough. And you know, bias. I really want to say D Rose. You know, I really want to go D Rose because like you know we never really got to see him in his prime for real, for real. Like that, he was like
Yeah,
21, 22
exactly.
when he won MVP. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like that's crazy to
Yep.
think about. Like you got to think about who he was going up against back then. Like we're talking about Kobe, we talking about Dirk Nowitzki, we talking about LeBron, we talking about Dwayne Wade. Like he was going against like some dogs back then. You know what I mean?
Dudes.
Like
Yeah.
so it's different. Obviously, the league has changed. And I get it to Tyler's point, longevity, etc. Like that does matter. But I mean, if we're talking about strictly like, look, bro, like this guy is staying healthy, like this guy is healthy. I'm not gonna lie, I probably do have to go Derrick Rose. I have to
Oh
go
yeah,
Derrick Rose.
if he stay
If
healthy, hell
he's
yeah, it's Derrick
healthy,
Rose.
like we're talking
Yeah.
about just these two guys are healthy. I gotta go Derrick Rose because bro, like winning MVP at
Mm,
21
I don't
is
know. I
nuts.
don't know.
Winning
If Derrick
MVP
Rose was able to have a
at
whole prime from
21
like,
years old
and
is
he wasn't even
crazy.
fully
Yeah,
developed as a
crazy.
basketball player. Because if
So
he's able to play from age 20, if he his prime would probably been like 23 to like 29. That's 6 years. If he don't have no injuries, and I blame Tom Thibodeau. I don't care what nobody say. He shouldn't have been in that game. It was already winning. They was up by like 15, probably like a minute in the game. He shouldn't have even been in. So it's really Tom Thibodeau's
But
fault.
you gotta think though, like Ja's really not like in his prime. Like
That's what I'm saying. That's
for
the
real
same thing I'm
yet.
saying with Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose ain't really have no. If we being real, he didn't really have no prime. He had the best year of his career that at that point. Not saying that's a bad thing. That's a very good thing if you get MVP at 21. But imagine what he could have
Yeah.
did if he stayed healthy.
Would he have sustained that though? I don't know. Maybe.
How? Who was going to stop him if he was doing it at 21? That's like saying if
I mean that
is Ja gonna get better?
yeah, but I don't see D Rose's I don't know. I could see him putting up like similar numbers year after year, but I don't see him taking like leaps in his game that would make that prime like something like overwhelmingly incredible. So I
If he
would
was
give him
able
the
to
nudge
shoot,
over
it would have been
Ja.
a. If he developed a jump shot, it would have been
If
over
he could
with.
shoot, obviously, yeah, that changes things. But
Yeah, that's a big if
I don't
though.
know.
Cause
It would be tough.
yeah, but I mean they both tough. Obviously, you know I don't think
mhm.
there's really a wrong answer for that. But yeah, that was kind of like our only little NBA thing I want to talk about. Next episode, obviously, we're gonna have a lot more NBA stuff to talk about. You know, in terms of like just rest of preseason, season's about to start. Hey, it's gonna be a good one. Like this might, I think Tyler said this a while back. Like this might be one of the best NBA seasons we've had in a while. Just with
Go,
all
Since
the
go,
2016, I'm telling you. But
bro,
go,
before we do the
yeah,
outro, the
go
Mavs
is
lost
back.
to a foreign team. I'm just letting y'all know in preseason. Same thing happened to the Suns. I hope you know that wasn't gonna go unannounced.
Yeah, but
And
that
young
was
people
that
know.
was Luca.
That
That was
team's
Luca.
like
That was
that.
Luca old
That
team
team
though.
was
I don't
That
care.
was Luca old team
I
Facu
don't care
though.
if that's the
Campazzo.
team he owns. I don't care.
Facu
Y'all was
Campazzo is a
on
good
ass when the
player.
Suns lost to that team from Australia
I
or
was
wherever.
on their behind.
I
But
don't
yeah,
care.
but they lost to Australia. But that's like I think that's like one of the toughest Euro, like one of the toughest teams in Europe that they
The
played. Like
toughest
Luke was
team
over
in
there
Europe
laughing
is
on the
Real Madrid.
Luke was over there laughing on the bench. Like Luke was
He
over there
can laugh.
laughing at them.
The Suns was laughing last year and they got laughed at. So
I feel
I
you,
just
bro.
want the
I
same.
feel you.
I
I
just
mean,
want the same energy.
I feel
That's
you.
it.
I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. I mean, it's tough because it's not like maybe I take that back for the Suns. If I was trolling, that's on me. I take that back because it's
You
like
probably
honestly,
was.
realistically,
That
like,
was before the GOAT got there though.
it's
Oh,
pretty
man.
okay. All right.
Wrap it up.
You see. All right, y'all. Hey
Obviously, if
man,
he's there,
appreciate.
they
All
don't lose to
right,
that.
hey,
They don't lose to
appreciate
that team if
y'all.
he's there.
Hey,
You got to think about it like
appreciate
that.
y'all
Like,
always, man.
they're not gonna lose to
Co-host
Australian team there for GOAT there.
Will Young, Tyler Pouncey. I'm your host, Josh
Oh,
Raphael.
Lord.
We gonna be back
They're
same
not gonna
time next
lose.
week. Appreciate
They
y'all.
wouldn't lose to them, not if GOAT